good.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our May 15th, 2023 board meeting. I'm going to call this meeting to order and ask Mr. Slade, would you say a prayer for us?
Let's open with a word of prayer. Father, help us as we try to do this county today to do it well. Help us to do the work that you called us to do, serve our community and serve our fellow man, Lord, with the kind of skills that you've given to us, Lord, with wisdom from on high, with discernment. Help us to make good and wise decisions. Help us to actually be pleasing to you today, which should be our chief aim. Thank you, Lord, for an occasion of recognizing and commending those who have done so well. Father, to acknowledge the work that has gone into the achievements that have been attained. Father, thank you for the men and women that you've called to serve not only our community, but the entire state. I pray, Father, that you will give them what they need to do their work, to do their job, to do it effectively. I pray, Father, for the men and women that protect us every single day. They go out, Lord, they're unsung heroes. Father, they don't get enough credit. Thank you for the way that they serve and protect. And I pray, Father, that you'll bring them home safely to their families. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen. All right, we will move into our public comments and recognition. Today we have three very special groups. Let's start off, Craig, with
Hey, Mr. President, could I jump in on you for 2
I
seconds?
knew you
It's
were.
Northwest Rankin.
I know.
You can't make
Go
me,
ahead.
you can't
I'm
make
gonna
me,
let Daniel take
it
this.
can't make me any happier.
Hey, but do explain that half of them live in my district.
I will remind them of that. Look, I know on public comments there's three very special groups. We've got our legislative bodies, we've got our top-rated judges here, and I'm sorry if y'all take the back seat to this show here, but Northwest Rankin has won a national championship in cheerleading, and I can't tell you how proud I am of Northwest Rankin cheerleading squad. You know, since the early days of school, everybody looks up at the cheerleaders, right? They've always compete nationally for the national championship, and I'm sorry that I don't know whether or not you've won it before, but I know you've come very close many times to winning the national championship. Y'all compete out there in Orlando, and I know y'all traveled all over the place to do it. It's a fantastic group. Mr. Slade's got a resolution. We honor a lot of state championships in here, but we've yet to do a national championship recognition like we're fixing to do today for Northwest Rankin. And if you didn't know, I went to Northwest Rankin games. I'm just going to remind that to you.
I picked up on
And
that.
some of these people are a part of Gaines's area, and believe it or not, some of these people even fall in Bishop's area.
That's right.
So we're going to make them cheer for that. We've got all kind of distributions of loyalty for sports up here, from Pearl to Pisgah to Florence to Brandon. But Northwest Rankin's got to be number one for sure. So,
Are they gonna do a
Mr.
cheer for
Slade,
us?
he's a Brandon guy too as well. We were kind of messed up. Josh Harkins, Senator Harkins, raise your hand. Another Northwest Rankin graduate in the crowd right here. So we're piled in here. We're outnumbered, Josh. So we just got to fight them off. But if you don't mind, we're going to recognize our national champions.
Are they gonna
now.
do a
Mr.
cheer
Slade,
for us?
They'll do whatever you want. They'll do whatever you want.
Cheer today.
If you want to see a national championship cheer,
That's what we
absolutely.
all see, a cheer.
So
No pressure, ladies. Oh, my goodness. I'm really pleased, gentlemen, to be able to read this resolution that recognizes and congratulates the Northwest Rankin High School cheerleading team on winning the 2022-23 National High School Large Division Game Day Championship. And they also won, by the way, the MHSAA Class 6A Game Day Championship as well. So they won state and they won at the Nationals. And so, ladies, this is an honor and a privilege for us to be able to recognize you guys today. I would like to call forward first our coaches, Marilyn Abear. She corrected me. That's Miss Abear, by the way. She corrected me. Thank you, Miss Abear, for correcting me on that. Is it Amelie Goss?
Yes.
Okay, good. Is Coach Goss able to be with us today? Caitlin Lohman and Johnny Taylor are our coaches. And so we are, we want to say a special commendation for the coaches that have led these ladies so well to the highest level of achievement that you can have in this sport. I'm going to read through the resolution now. Coach, thank you for being here. Thank you, ladies, for coming today. Whereas the Northwest Rankin High School cheerleading team completed a successful 2022-2023 season by winning the National High School Cheerleading Championship Large Division Game Day, and by winning the 2022-23 Mississippi High School Athletic Association Class 6A cheer competition, going undefeated the entire season. Whereas This impressive group of athletes competed at the highest levels of their sport at the National High School Cheerleading Championship, securing a final score of 98.9 out of 100 possible points to achieve the highest score among over 1,100 teams from across the nation. So they scored the highest out of 1,100 teams in the country. I'm going to come back and read the next paragraph in just a few moments once I get all the ladies up here, and it'll become clear why I waited. I do want to say that coaches Marilyn Abear, Amelie Goss, Caitlin Lohman, and Johnny Taylor, along with the administration of Northwest Rankin High School, is to be commended for their outstanding commitment to both academic and athletic success. I'll come back to academic here momentarily. The senior ladies on the team, I'm going to call their name, but they are right now engaged in graduation practice, and so they have an excused absence for not being here this morning. But here are the seniors that are on the team: J.C. Arrington, Gracie Gardner, Brianna Green, Kaylee Kennington, Swayze McMinn, Ivory Spencer, and Maddie Welburn. That's our senior ladies, and so we definitely want to congratulate them even though they weren't able to be here. The juniors are Chloe Angulo. Come forward, please, when your name's called. Yep. And I'm just going to get you to line up here, ladies. And Anna Marie Axton. Our sophomores are Anna Lauren Calvert. Okay. Anna Claire Davis could not be here today. She's one of the juniors. Raven Hodges. I hear a lot of hardware, gentlemen.
That's what it sounds like when national champions walk up. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Carson Lyles. Zoe Robin. McKenna Witt. And McCarley Weir. McCarley couldn't be here with us today. Okay. Freshman, Aubrey Barr. Mila Beck. Kinsley Bledsoe. Jakaylin Bolden. Bree Bowling. Samantha Bryant. Yeah, we can come on around, ladies. Lily DeGruder.
How you doing?
Marley Hutchinson. Put it in there. Chloe Miller.
Can you bring your daddy? Sleeping late today?
Kinsley Strawbridge. And Kenley Ray is another freshman who wasn't able to be here with us today. Now I want to read the paragraph, gentlemen, about the academics. Whereas the most impressive statistic compiled by the Northwest Rankin High School cheerleading team is their overall team grade point average, which stands at a perfect 4.0.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Hey, Mr. Slade, I want to mention one other thing. Real quick. I know you're still going through it, but got athletic directors in the back.
Absolutely.
Coach
Please.
Cooper?
Yeah,
Coach
absolutely.
Douglas, our assistant ADs in the back, they'd come up here also.
Yeah,
Maybe get on
please.
the end up here.
Come on, guys. We're going to let the admin get
They're not as photogenic as this group right here, but we'll airbrush them up a little bit.
Take them to a cheer.
Chuck, can you get it that wide, Chuck?
I do want to say, gentlemen, that this bunch right here received from the MHSAA what's called the Scholar Athlete Team status for the year. That's based on their grade point average, both their academic and their athletic success. Ladies, we can't congratulate you enough for both academic success and athletic success. We always like to showcase and highlight both parts of the equation. Those are both vitally important, and you are to be commended for doing as well academically as you have done athletically. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Supervisors for Rankin County, we commend and congratulate the members of the Northwest Rankin High School cheerleading team, the coaching staff, and the administrative leadership for their fantastic season. On behalf of all the citizens of Rankin County, we extend our heartfelt wishes for your continued success in the future. Ladies, this resolution is signed off by all of the supervisors and by our Chancery Clerk. is suitable for framing. I'm gonna give it to you, Coach, when you get ready to head back to school. Unfortunately, you are gonna have to go back to school. Okay. What I would like to do, Chuck, is to invite our legislative delegation, if they wish. If you guys wanna come up also, and have your pictures made with the ladies, this would be a good opportunity for you to do that. So Josh, don't be chicken, come on. You're a Northwest guy. You definitely need to be in that. All right. They've done this before.
Oh, man, have they?
Not their first rodeo.
Good job, Carl. Great job.
Okay. Kinley, I'm sorry. Let's take a picture standing here, Daddy.
Does her daddy play golf?
No, his daddy will pound the hell out of anybody, though. He's fantastic.
They don't.
So Gavin
Congratulations,
Gavin plays shortstop at Denver.
Okay.
That's actually her brother.
Yeah, I got you. I understand.
So, yep, absolutely.
Josh, you're looking really pretty there, man.
Yeah. All right. We thank those ladies. We appreciate what they've done and how they represent us in academics. We're gonna do a recognition of our senators, House members. That's it. Judges, that's coming later, sir. You're next on the list.
Guys, this is a great opportunity for us to take just a few moments of the time of this board meeting for something that's really important for us to do, and that's to recognize and to congratulate and to thank the members of our state House and Senate delegation who have been champions for Rankin County yet again. This is not the first time that we have recognized those men who have gone to bat for Rankin County, the citizens of Rankin County, and have effectively represented the interests of the citizens of Rankin County at the highest seat of the legislature in the state of Mississippi, and have done a masterful job on our behalf. At the same time, we have representatives from the Office of the Governor here with us today, and we want to say a special word of thank you to the Office of the Governor, to the Governor himself, and to those who are standing in for him with us today, that we appreciate and take advantage of our relationship with the Office of the Governor, a Rankin Countyan, and so we want to say a special thank you for the Governor's presence here with us today through Mr. Neil Ricks, who is the legislative liaison with the Office of the Governor. I want to bring forward at this time our legislative delegation. We'll start with our House guys. There is no rhyme or reason to this, gentlemen. It's not an order of priority by any stretch. We love all of y'all equally, okay? I'm gonna make that clear. But we gotta start somewhere. So we may as well start. Representative Gene Newman, if you'll come forward. My District 5 supervisor is gonna love this. I'm calling out the Pearl representative for us first and foremost. Gene, if you'll step right up here, please. Gene has been so effective and helpful to us in many, many ways. And Gene, I just appreciate all that you do and how available you are for us when we call on you. Representative Yancey, if you'll come forward, please. Lee Yancey. So I'm covering my bases here. Yes, absolutely. Lee has risen through the ranks on the House side, has made a name for himself, and it is to the advantage of Rankin County that we have somebody with Lee's skills and abilities. And Lee, I want to say thank you, a personal thank you for how available and open you are for any discussion. Senator Josh Harkins, please come forward. Josh Harkins has been, and you can, by the way, we could look, if we could get him to resurrect his cell phone data for us today, what you would find is you would find a number of occasions where Josh has probably spit on his phone out of anger from yet another call from Rankin County. And so, Josh, it goes without saying that we know that we are taxing and burdensome. We get that. But you have always shown yourself to be highly capable of helping us and helping us to navigate different things. Senator Dean Kirby, if you'll come forward, please. Senator Kirby. Senator Kirby
Josh, even
is.
if you did spit on it, you always answered and helped him. Thank you.
Senator Kirby has seniority. So Senator Kirby, thank you very much once again for doing what you've always done, which is stepping up for Rankin County and helping Rankin County wherever you could. Guys, it goes without saying, these four right here especially, I want to mention this point. They are the front lines of dealing with issues on behalf of the county, and sometimes Rankin County is perceived to have better representation than everybody else. And you know why? It's because it's the truth. We have the best representatives on both sides than any other county in the state, and it's gotten the attention of other counties around the state. And I want to tell you guys that we know that you face a lot of resistance from time to time when we are trying to do things on behalf of the county. And I want to say a special word of thank you in that you are able to somehow navigate all of those thorny issues and make it clear and abundant that the entire state is being protected and represented across the House. You guys are elected to represent the interests of Rankin County. And you do such a good job of that, that it's important for us as your home county to let you know that. We appreciate what you do for us. Neil, would you come forward, please? This is Neil Ricks. He is with the Office of the Governor, Legislative Liaison, and we are especially proud to have representation from the Governor's office here with us today. Thank you, Neil, for being here. And our hope is that the Governor himself will recognize and appreciate the fact that Rankin County appreciates him. And we're going to do what we can in the upcoming season to make sure that the Governor feels the effect of Rankin County at the ballot box. We are happy that he is seeking another term of office, and we are supporters. Please make sure he knows that. Thank you. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say on behalf of all of our team that what has happened at the legislature this year could not have happened without the individuals that you see standing here before us. They are responsible for what has happened that benefits Rankin County. What are those benefits? Well, we have representatives today from Hines Community College, and I think it's important that they be a part of this recognition as well. So Dr. Basic, if you will please come forward. Where'd you go? There's Dr. Basic. Ginger, Ms. Renee, y'all come on too. I want you to be a part of this as well. Dr. Vic, I saw you previously. He was trying to hide, but Vic's hard to hide. Part of what has happened this year, gentlemen, is a team effort, and this is a reflection of a team effort that has benefited Rankin County specifically. One specific way, and that way is this. We have an allied nursing and health program at Hines Community College that currently meets in a facility that is substandard, that doesn't meet a minimum standard for health, safety, or anything else, quite honestly, and it's in serious condition. And that need arose and presented itself right in our face, and we looked for and found ways to work together to achieve an outcome that this board said we need to make sure that happens. And then the legislatures said, we believe in what you're trying to do to relocate that facility to the Pearl campus. And so the legislature over 2 seasons came forward, and we now have the funding in place to get that project going. Praise the Lord. And what does that mean for Rankin County? It means that we will have an allied nursing and health program, and that's way beyond just nursing, by the way, although that is super critical important. It's EMTs, it's first responder training, it's all manner of first aid, first response, healthcare related training that will benefit the citizens of Rankin County. The school kids that want to go in that field will now have an opportunity to attend school, should they choose to go to Hines. They'll attend it in a brand new building that is on a safe campus right here in Rankin County. And oh, by the way, you can just about throw a rock and hit the very facilities that we're trying to staff up, that the governor's office especially has been so helpful to us, and the legislature's been so helpful to us to get a corridor that provides for increased access to medical care right here in Rankin County. And so it makes perfect sense, does it not, for us to team together as a governing authority, as the leadership of Hines Community College, as the leadership of the state legislature. It makes sense for this team and for the office of the governor to be a part of a team effort that will allow us now to stand up a brand new facility in Rankin County. That's a $50 million facility. It's a big, tall order, and we got a lot of work to do to get it all the way finished. But I am so pleased to announce that we have gotten to a point of critical mass where that project can go forward. And so I'm
The Board of
excited.
Supervisors does our part, which we intend to do. But let me say though, Craig did mention 2 years, that's astronomical. Government runs, as y'all know, at a snail's pace. Us getting funding, project out of the ground in 2 years, we're gonna have it built within 4. That's unheard of. So
Yep.
kudos to you guys for making it happen.
So I want these folks right here, I want this recognition to be something that we do, but I don't want my legislature guys, Neil, don't leave. When we get the pictures made, I want the Hines folks to step away. I got one other issue that I want to talk to these guys about, that you guys, to your credit, you didn't have to be a part of. So Chuck, do you mind getting some pictures here? And I'll get you a cheat sheet going. Hold on. Don't move, guys.
Don't move.
Yeah.
Freeze. They need the names in order.
Okay.
Hey,
All right, I got it.
4.0
All right,
across,
guys.
across the board, 4.0.
Yeah, 4.0.
4.0, grade 4.0.
Guys, let's thank the Hines folks for being here with us today. Quickly, I want to say this, gentlemen, there was more that was achieved this legislative session at the legislature. The Hines ask was critical and was huge, and we want to again say thank you for that, because that was a heavy lift. It was, and I think the Hines folks will agree with that. It was a heavy lift, and you guys pulled that through like champions. And you know, you don't ever know how a horse is gonna pull till you hook him. And we hooked a big load to you guys, and y'all pulled. And I'm just so thankful. Great team effort on that. I want to also thank you for another appropriation that we were able to secure this year, and that has to do with our transportation initiatives. And guys, we have pounded on y'all for multiple years about our transportation initiatives in Rankin County. You know, to get road projects done in our county with the kind of traffic that we're now dealing with the growth in our population that we have seen. Why do we see that? It's because there is good government in Rankin County. That's why. It's a safe place. We've got great schools. We've got good governing authorities that make sure we're on the straight and narrow. We spend money the way we tell you guys we're going to spend it, and we account for it. It's just good government. And so folks want to live in a place like that. And you guys have been front and center helping us to achieve that for Rankin County. I can't thank you enough for how you represent us in the highest places of government, so that we, Rankin County, are able to achieve even more than we possibly could. We cannot build a transportation corridor and infrastructure by ourselves. we would tax our people to death, bless their hearts. And so you guys have recognized our efforts to go to Washington, D.C., and to do everything that we can to try to qualify for funding for our transportation initiatives at Washington, so we get as much help as we possibly can. And we try to do as much as we can ourselves, and we surround ourselves with really qualified people, good professionals, who know what they're doing, know how to bring a design forward, know how to build roads, know how to make sure that we spend the money correctly, that we get our money's worth. We surround ourselves with really good professionals that help us with that entire effort. And because of that, you have invested now with us. Praise the Lord. We were able to secure federal funding, but you've got to have matching money for all of the federal dollars you secure. And with your help now, we have every matching dollar that we need for the federal funding that we have received, which is going to make your county taxpayers' money go that much farther to get these transportation projects online. Because you have invested with us, we now have momentum to actually go back to DC, and they're going to like hearing that the state has joined them in helping to invest in Rankin County. What am I talking about? We got to get a bridge over a railroad track at Greenfield Road. That is highly critical to anything that we try to achieve long-term in Rankin County. And without your help, that bridge could not be built. It's a $30 million bridge. It takes a lot of taxpayer dollars to get that thing built. We got to get that bypass 4-lane. We got to get another connector up on the east side that gets you back to the interstate. We've got to tie all of our transportation systems together so that the traffic can move around some of the snarls that we've been seeing. And you guys have helped us through legislation, specific legislation. And without that, we would not have the momentum that we now have. And I want to thank you for listening to us, helping us to make an even better message, and then ultimately, obviously, I appreciate very much the fact that you actually passed some appropriations for us. And we're going to do right by you. We're going to spend the money like we tell you, wisely, and we're going to hopefully make you guys look good for investing with us and in us. Gentlemen, let's thank these men for their work on our behalf, and just tell them how much we appreciate them. And it's not going to be nearly enough. We can't tell you thank you enough, but hopefully this will help you understand just how appreciative we are, gentlemen. Thank y'all. Gentlemen, y'all are free to go back and get us some more money at your
Hey, we've had some sorrows this week, our last one.
Thank you.
Good word.
My sister.
Brother, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
See you, Dan.
Thanks,
brother.
Steve. See y'all.
Good to see you, Mr.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, we got Judge McDaniel. Got to.
Hey Steve, I think they're gonna do that after the judge deal, they're gonna do that. Wagner's gonna give us a list on the projects and stuff and go ahead and do
Where
them in
everything's
public
at?
comment. Yeah,
Under public comment.
Okay,
that way they can leave.
okay.
Yeah, that one.
All right, let's move on. We've got a couple of very important people that we want to recognize, judges that we love, the best judges, not just in the state, but the country.
In the room at least.
At least in the room. All right.
Yeah, I've been so effusive with my praise for the legislators. I don't want to leave out our county court judges who have provided a level of service for Rankin County that's a little bit unique to Rankin County. There's not that many counties in the state that have county court judges. We are afforded 2 in Rankin County, and I'm highly privileged to be able to introduce before you Judge McDaniel, who has been with us, seems like forever, Judge Mack, I just want to say, but Judge Kent McDaniel has been with us for so long. Judge David Marr is one of our newer youth court judges, 2 years, almost 2 years. And so we are fortunate to have the judiciary we have in Rankin County. But these two judges are special because they are our judges. These are county judges. They belong to us. Congratulations, gentlemen. And we are glad to have you. And there is a unique request that we have here. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't point out that we want to continue to pray for Judge Tom Broom. We want him to be back on the bench. I think I speak for you gentlemen when I say that. And we are hopeful and prayerful that that will happen. Judge Mack wants to talk to you guys, and Judge Morrow wants to talk to you guys a little bit about how we're going to handle that convalescent period for Judge Broom, and so that'll be a matter that you will take action on the agenda.
Well, thank you for giving us a moment, and thank you for the entertainment. This was great this morning. Good time to be here. No, the Chief Justice appointed me just as soon as we learned that Tom was in ICU. He appointed me to serve in that capacity, and I'm honored to do that. I don't even think maybe Supervisor Bishop was here back when we went to 2 judges. I was about to die trying to do both jobs. Could not be done. And your predecessors were kind enough to give us a second slot. It's a youth court judge slot by statute. And Tom is the only one we've ever had, Judge Broom, excuse me for being too casual. He's been the only one we've ever had. And he's now been stricken in a way that's horrible for all of us to even consider. But the work of the youth court goes on, trust me, doesn't it, Judge? Yes, yeah. So we designed that, when the legislation was passed, we designed it so that either of us, post 1 or post 2, could serve as either judge for the youth court or for everything else. And so far, Judge Broom has just taken the youth court load on himself, and he's developed a youth court that's the envy of the world, frankly, because he's gotten grants for family intervention courts, for youth drug courts, and you just can't believe the stuff they do out there. So it's a big undertaking. And the reason I tell you all that is because most of y'all weren't around when we made that division. And the main thing is, one person cannot do that job. When I found out about Judge Broom, I said, uh-oh, there's no way Judge Morrow, who already has a full docket of stuff in his court, you just can't do it. It can't be done. And so the Chief Justice was kind enough to appoint me as an interim judge. Doesn't affect my retirement or anything. I'm tired, but I'm also retired. And so he did that, and there's a statute that covers this. I just gave a copy of it to your lawyer, who, by the way, what are you running for?
For my life.
I'm thinking at the very least the county line. Anyway, great job, Craig. Thank you. But the idea is that Judge Morrow is going to cover as much of that as he can and work it into his otherwise busy schedule. And I'm going to handle pretty much everything else. And thus far, I think I've been out there 11 days and done about 38 or 40 hours worth of work. So basically just, I'm only there when I'm needed to be there, and the staff can keep things running. But Judge Morrow and I are pleased to try to cover this for Judge Broom. He's been such a great asset to this county, and we do beg you to continue to pray for him. The information, the only thing that's not in that statute is how much it's going to cost. $75 an hour roughly is what us old retired judges get paid when we come back. And I'll talk to the administrator and the financial people about how they want to work that, because as I say, I've already spent a good bit of time out there. But I'm gonna let Judge Morrow tell you anything he wants to about it, because he's been just like that. He's there whenever he can be there, and that saves me having to go out there, so.
We appreciate both of y'all, what y'all doing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, I just want you to
It's a big
understand,
job.
out of 82 counties in the state of Mississippi, there's not another county that does what Rankin County Youth Court does for the youth and the families of Rankin County. You can't really truly appreciate it, and I didn't until I went out there. And he has a staff that's nationally recognized. for what they do. And I would like to think that the youth court tries to give the youth of Rankin County a chance to learn from their mistakes and a chance to be productive adults in our communities. And they stack the odds as high as they can for the benefit of these kids, and it's truly impressive. And so for Tom Broom to be absent is huge. It's huge. And Judge McDaniel is correct. I'd love to be able to do it by myself, but I can't do it, and I'm so thankful for him. He was a youth court judge before too, so the business of the youth court in Rankin County is moving forward. It's certainly, we're just trying to get them from point A to point B. We can't replace Judge Broom, but we're just gonna try to buy him some time.
And I just thank y'all for what you've done to support
Thank
that
y'all for
youth
being
court.
there.
I mean,
Thank
they've
you.
just got, they got the resources they need, and in terms of, kids that need our help, they got plenty of them. So, it's just something that can't go uncovered even
Right.
for 3 or 4 days. And so, thank you for what you've done, and assuming that this, that the pay issue can be worked out.
Well,
I imagine we can get that
Can we get a
figured out.
picture
We'll
with
get you
y'all,
worked out.
with the two of you? Can we stand up and get a picture?
As far as I'm concerned.
Thank you.
Shoot, I'd be honored to have.
I'm honored.
Yeah.
I didn't know y'all were getting photos today, did you?
Let's just tighten up behind them.
Yeah.
Y'all don't have to tighten up.
Yeah. Perfect. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Y'all stepping up.
Hopefully it won't be so long, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And guess what? We got a docket that started at 9 o'clock.
Right.
Take care of that.
All right, Craig, I want to add under public comments, just where we can help handle this room. Wagner Engineering is here with a few people to tell us about some maybe progress that we've got
Yes.
on their engineering side.
Yes.
Will you handle that?
I'll be glad to. It's under my section, Steve. I don't know. if
How's-
you can
can
go
we-
now.
yes,
Okay,
that's-
fine. So, gentlemen, this will be, we're gonna move item M under my section, update on Rankin County Stormwater Protection and Restoration Program and ARPA project status. We'll move that up to make it item D in the public comments. So, right?
Anyone like to come forward?
Hand them out. More?
There's two.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Brian Herndon with Wagner Engineering. Just wanted to give a brief update and schedule of the progress with the stormwater program. As you will see in the handout, we just had 2 handouts that reflect the stormwater program ARPA projects as they were submitted in application A and application B through the NDEQ stormwater program grant application. All 29 projects That's really why we want to do a schedule, because we're not going to go through all 29 projects, but should be updated. And this has been in collaboration with our design team, that is engineering services and benchmark, and it's been really, really a good collaboration and communication process, and getting better all the time. So right now, everything's on schedule as of today. So 7 projects have been authorized to bid. 1 project is near construction closeout. So, and that is Vernon Jones. So,
Imagine that.
I told you he's best.
Yes, sir, you gotta stay on top of it.
yes, and then, so the 7 projects authorized to bid, should be, coming out very soon.
You say very soon, what are you talking about? What's very soon?
As soon as we can get the design teams to get the advertisements and get them bid, so. And again, that schedule you have it follows, is itemized all the way through construction.
Right.
So, and we show everything being complete by, well before our ARPA shut off of 2026, our end date, so, or the ARPA end date, where we have to be complete. Okay?
Well, we will study these, and I'm sure we'll have questions. I know you'll answer.
Absolutely.
We'll call you, or I'll call Joe. Thank
Yes.
y'all for putting this together.
Okay.
And hopefully keep it moving fast.
We sure appreciate it. We're doing everything we can. Like I said, the collaboration between the 2 teams, and the design teams have been really, really good, and I hope to continue that. It's going, the program's going really well.
Does
Okay?
anyone else have a question or comment before we move on? All right, thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Wagner.
While Ryan is here, I want you guys to know that it's not ready for prime time just yet, but I got to be an eyewitness to a computerized, web-based presentation of what you're looking at in hard copy form. That is pretty wild. The format that you'll have access to when it's ready is a format that would let you actually drill down on individual project sites on a computerized map, and it'll be set up so that if you want to know specifics about a specific project that's being worked with a point-and-click methodology, you should be able to get all the information that you now are looking at in hard copy form. By having it available to you in a computer format, you will be able to track it more on a frequent basis and not have to wait on hard copies. Okay? So that's coming. And that's also going to help our staff, our administrative side of the house, as we're able to provide or need to provide documentation to the MCWI portal for purposes of matching funds. That information readily available will make the work product much simpler for us, I hope. Right, so
Yes.
I'm really pleased about that. We're seeing a lot of things above.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ryan.
Appreciate it.
All right. We're running a few minutes behind, so we're gonna move on, old business. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make a
of the old-
motion.
All right, Brad Calhoun makes a motion to accept, and Jared seconds it. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, consent agenda.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
before you get started on the consent, if you don't mind, I'd like to go ahead and pull item 2F off the consent and place it under additional business for further consideration.
You just knew I was gonna ask about it.
Yes, sir.
All right,
What is that without me pulling consent up?
All right.
with some training for additional staff to train on IBM.
Okay.
2F, as in Frank.
using your alphanumeric.
I make a motion to approve the consent minus 2F.
All right.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Jay makes a motion, Brad seconds. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Bridget Herron, our purchasing clerk, please come forward.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bridget.
My first item this morning, I'm requesting approval of a copier contract for the Circuit County Court with Rico.
So moved.
All right, Jay makes a motion. Do we have a second? I'll second it. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, bid opens for semi-annual
Yes.
term bids, unit system.
The first bid that will be open this morning is for asphalt. The first bid received is from APAC, Mississippi. It was received electronically. Item one, $149. Item two, $148. Item three, $146. Item five, $74.45. Item six, $83. Item seven, $78. Item 10, $159.
All right,
The second bid is from Dickerson and Bowen. Item one, $130. Item two, $145. Item three, $138. Item four, $5.50. Item five, $75. Item six, $82. Item seven, $76.50. Item 10, $135.
did I hear you right? What was item 4?
$5.50 square yard.
Okay.
This bid is from Sunbelt Ceiling.
What are they bidding on?
Clean, item 12 only, and it's $1.35. About mangled it to death. This bid is from J&L Enterprises. Item one, $119.24. Item two, $121.50. Item three, $121. Item four, $2.50. Item eight, $124.
Hang on.
Oh, we went, across to the next page.
All right.
Item nine, $123.49. Item 10, $122.49, and item 11, $44.
So who is J&L?
That's Lance Pearson. They've done a lot of work. They did
Okay.
for us in the past, mainly the asphalt leveling and patching,
Gotcha.
and they sometimes provide gravel for us. The next bid is Ad Camp. Item one, $115. Item two, $106.89. Item three, $106.89. Item four, $2.25. Item five, $80. Item six, $74.49. Item seven, $74.49. Item eight, $120. Item nine, $120. Item 10, $106.89. And item 11, $37. The next bid is from AJ Construction. Is that a 50? 1050. You don't have your glasses either. Item one is $110.50. Item two, $112.50. Item three, $112.50. Item four, $2. Item five, $70. Item six, $72. Item 7, 72. Item 8, 112.50. Item 9, 112.50. Item 10, 112.50. And item 11, $40.
Did you say 40?
Yes, sir. Yes. This bid is from Ergon Asphalt. These are gonna be on the back pages. Item 13, $3.06 per gallon. Item 14, $3.31. Item 15, $3.21, and item 16, $2.96. I recommend those be taken under advisement.
Motion.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Daniel, a second by Jay. Take these under advisement. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes.
The second item is for scrub seal, slurry seal, and microsurfacing. The first bid received is from T.L. Wallace.
Hang on. Is that this one right here?
Yes, that'll be the last one with a bid worksheet today. Okay, for item 4, it's $9. Item 4A is $9. Item 4B, $105, and item 4C, $105. This bid is from Vance Brothers. And I'm say we didn't receive any bids for the first 3 items. Item 4A, $8.25. Item B, $129.98. Item C, $133.25. Recommend those be taken under advisement.
All right, we have a motion.
Motion.
Daniel makes a motion, Jared seconds. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Passes.
The next item received is next item is metal culverts, and we received 1 bid from Southern Pipe and Supply. Get stuff. This bid is in order and recommend it be taken under advisement.
All right,
Make the motion.
Jared makes a motion, take it
Second.
under advisement.
Second.
Brad seconds. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next item, polypropylene culverts. The first bid is from Coburn Supply. Their bid is in order.
Is that the only one?
We've got 2 more.
Okay.
The next one is from Eagle Pipe. It is okay. The next bid is from Southern Pipe and Supply. I recommend those be taken under advisement.
Make a motion.
Second.
Brad made a motion to take them under advisement. Jared seconds. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
The next item is for crushed aggregates. Dude. The first item is from Rankin County Limestone, and they bid number 89, 610, 100 and 200 pound riprap. They did note in the just exceptions, the job site minimum charge $200 per load or 28 cents per mile, whichever is greater. All right, we need some assistance up here. The next bid is from Warren Paving, and they submitted pricing for all items, all limestone and riprap. Lose my parts. This bid is from APAC. They submitted pricing just for one thing for, it's supposed to have been for 610 limestone. They crossed through it and put 82513.
So they did their own bid, huh?
It says they're quoting the MDOT spec for that, so,
Okay.
yes. But I recommend those be taken under advisement.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Jay, second by Daniel. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And for gravel, we received one bid from J&L Enterprises, and they didn't submit pricing for wash gravel, just clay gravel. I recommend that be taken under advisement.
Motion.
All right. I have a motion by Brad,
Second.
second by Jay. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
For soil stabilization, the first bid is from Hemp Hill Construction, and they bid all items. They did have some justifications about minimum work, just minimum things they put in there for tonnage and mobilization to work site. This bid is from AdCamp. They also bid all items.
Get y'all all that you want.
I recommend those be taken under advisement.
We have a motion.
Second.
Okay, I'll make the motion. Jay seconds. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
The last item is for polyurethane foam application and curb and gutter removal and replacement. The first bid received is from Warren Building Company. They submitted pricing for all items. Next is Foremost Foundations and Construction. They submitted pricing for all. This is from A1 Concrete Services, and they did just the curb and gutter removal and replacement. I need to get a new one. This bid is from Bulldog Construction, and they submitted pricing for each item. This bid is from Helms Polyfoam, and they submitted pricing for just the foam application. I recommend those be taken under advisement.
Motion.
Second.
All right, I'm gonna go with, Jay, makes a motion.
Second.
Daniel or Brad,
It doesn't
whoever seconds it. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Motion passes.
Good morning.
Mike Harrison, road manager.
We got A, B, and C, D, E, and F, and G. This is all Windstream District 1 area. I'd like to take them all under advisement at one time.
I make a motion.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Jared, second by Jay. Any other discussion? That is to take them as one
Yes, sir, taking this one.
now.
Approve.
I got the
all
list
of
from Bridget.
All right. Brad makes motion to approve this list. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Morrison makes a second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank y'all.
All right, that went faster than I thought it would. Mr. Parker, I know you don't have time. I'll talk to you later about the baseball games.
We could take some now if you'd like
No,
to, Mr.
no,
President.
no, I don't want to jinx them.
I understand that.
I've read this book.
Same song.
Yeah.
who knows what verse, absolutely.
Not count.
The one item we have, Mr. President, is on the SAP 6118M project. We're recommending approval of a supplemental agreement and a change order. A supplemental agreement is required on a contract, on a state aid contract, when you need an item that's not in the original bid. And we had some issues with the asphalt out there. The contractor's plant was having some issues, and so we've worked through it with them, and some of the asphalt had some failing test reports. Some of it's gonna have to be taken out. Some of it can remain just at a lesser pay factor. But they're gonna, when they take some out, we're gonna end up with a road that's semi-patched. And so what we've come up with is to, the supplemental agreement is to add item 907411A, which is ultra-thin asphalt pavement at $118 a ton. So the plan is that when they get their repairs done, to come in and put this 1-inch ultra-thin layer on top. Because of the pay factors and some underruns, there's no additional cost to the job, so the change order recommendation just sets it in the contract too, but there is no increase in monetary value to the contract. Contract stays the same, but we get an ultra-thin.
Is it?
This is on Laughlin Road, I
I was fixing to
apologize.
ask,
It's just on one road, they got their plant corrected, and they have a couple of repairs to make on Pearson, but it certainly didn't warrant a total ultra-thin overlay on it. It was just small sections. But Laughlin Road had multiple sections that were.
And it's staying in budget.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. There's, the change order is for a net zero increase.
Okay.
So we recommend
The
approval.
Pearson one, I've seen they've been working on it, but how long do we think they'll be completed?
Pearson, I believe they've done the asphalt work and they're waiting to strike.
That's what it looks like.
Laughlin, they obviously had to wait on this supplemental agreement to be approved because the item wasn't in the contract. So, and this will have to go to state aid for approval. So we're at least a week away from getting it officially approved there. So, then their plan is to get back to Laughlin.
Okay.
And I believe they're through paving on all the other roads on 18M. They're not, obviously not striped. It's got some shoulder gravels and things like that.
Do I have a motion?
Make the motion.
All right, Jared makes a motion. Jay seconds. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you,
Mr. President, it's not on the agenda, but at the last meeting, I was asked to bring an update on some contract times for a couple of projects, the Gunner Road project and the Andrew Jackson Circle, which Hemphill Construction is a contractor on. If it's okay, I can report on that now.
Yes, sir.
Let's hear it.
So we'll start with Gunner Road. Let me preface everything I say about it is it's a calendar day contract, which is straight calendar days. It's 240 calendar days. That expired in late February. So calendar days, they are out of calendar days by the contract. All right.
Is this state aid?
No, sir.
Or
This
not?
is
Okay.
county. So to further that, to explain how we do this, and I actually have it in the sheet if anybody needs a handout. The way we figure the calendar days is based on when the contract's gonna be, and then MDOT has a guide for how many estimated working days there are in each month of the year, and they differ for each month. So we take those working days and then convert it to a calendar day contract. So at the end of February, the normal available working days per the MDOT Red Book, it's not an MDOT job, but that's kind of the standard that everybody uses to calculate, that's figured in the rain days. The working days on Gunner would be 116 working days. Actual days available to work through February was 79. So if you were going on a working day contract, our opinion was that they were owed 37 days because of excessive rain. They were owed 37 additional working days. In March and April, they were able to, there were 30 total available working days that they could have worked or may have worked. And so through the end of April, which is just obviously as far as we took this, they're still due 7 working days at the end of April. So that takes them some time into May. My guess is by now in May, they've had 7 days that they could have worked. So more than likely in May, the contract time's expired, even if you're looking at it on a working day type scenario. Now, Hemphill has advised us that they're gonna submit us a whole lot of data and reasoning why they should get additional days. We have not shared this with them. This is our calculation for you.
So how far completes the project, percentage-wise?
I don't know the exact percentage, Daniel. It's a little bit skewed right now.
75% done?
It's not on dollars, but because of the fact that asphalt goes fast and catches them up quickly. So probably, I would say if you took that into account, probably in that 70, 75 range. I'm counting asphalt that's not placed, but they're getting really close to laying it, and when they do, it's gonna,
Catch
the
it up
numbers
pretty
are gonna
fast.
run up really quick.
So when do you project it finishing?
I'm
all
saying in
weather.
July.
October?
I'm saying in July at the earliest,
Or you think it's done by July?
at the earliest.
Well,
So
yeah,
October,
If they
basically.
get good June weather,
It won't be in
I think
October.
they can finish in July.
So we're gonna have 2 months over.
Are we prepared to hold their feet to the fire?
Yeah, so basically, I mean, what we've done there is we've asked them to submit their data, because they have a right to do that, and we'll review it. And obviously, if they, I don't know, I think they're gonna get into the prosecution of their work, how they couldn't do things because they were set back times, and that's not something
What,
that,
hey, what other projects do they got? Yours, Bishop?
Not under construction.
And when does that start?
It'll be several months.
So that won't interfere with this?
No.
so.
You got one going? You don't? So the only other project they have is with Bishop, right?
They have Andrew Jackson Circle, which is in District
They're
One.
over it now.
That's the other one I was gonna report on.
Okay, go ahead.
Through the end of April, so under the same scenario with the working days, there again, it's a calendar day contract, 180 calendar days. That came to a total of 64 working days, 180 calendar days, 64 working days. Available through April, we calculated at 46 days, so they're due 18 days at the end of April. So they may not eat it all up in May, but depending on how the rest of May holds out, May or early June, they'll be out of time based on our
So
working
they're
day
about finished with
calculation
Andrew
there.
Jackson Circle?
No, they're not.
Like how far?
They're probably 50% complete with it.
Halfway through, and they're out of days probably today or tomorrow.
Oh,
Well,
they
no,
got
18, that'd be
additional.
working days, so it's gonna be towards the end
I
of
got
that.
you. So they got the rest of
Because
the
maybe
month,
we
but
only
they're only halfway through, right?
Yeah.
Are you
So
taking
they should get with
are
you by
just a minute,
2030,
Just a minute. for you.
2031, you know? There you go, 2 projects.
Just,
Yeah.
well, you don't know what's going on with it anyway.
I just know the numbers they read back to us, you know? That's the part that,
Yeah, y'all drive down there and get a better view.
same
Hey,
story.
Tim, is that,
Yeah, that's probably doesn't.
That's who got our bridge projects, most of them.
Tim, have you got, is that
Ooh.
take consideration that
That's a good one,
the,
Brad.
that water line situation?
Yeah,
that-
so.
That nobody knew was in the middle of the construction?
No, that's right, and obviously the one calls, nothing showed, that didn't show up on anything.
That old
There
line.
are months, a couple months in there where we charge 0 days available for work, and that was for that. Now, there again, part of what we have to consider there is what that does to them after that. So there's some issues there that, this is just a straight calculation. I would say at the end of the day, this is not gonna be the final say-so, because there may be something that they raised that's a legitimate point. If the water line caused something that was scheduled in December and they couldn't do it, and then in January, if they're using a sub or something, they can't get him, there's things that we'll certainly listen to, and if we feel it's warranted, obviously present it to the board for consideration.
Well, have they had anything like that on Andrew Jackson Circle?
What's that?
Any projects, water line stuff?
Yeah, that's.
That's where
what
that
he-
one's at,
that's
but the
what he's
Gunner
referring
Road
to.
they hadn't, they just ran
Right,
and got
so,
it.
yeah,
right?
so,
Yeah, I'm talking about Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson, it had, there was just a water line that even the water company didn't know was there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was actually a fiber too, I think it's Windstream, that,
Something to do
Windstream.
with,
didn't know
something to
was
do with the guy doing the clearing. He had to move out, well, it got so wet he couldn't do, moved out, and then he had to try to get him back in.
Right.
I forget something, main thing was the water line.
Yeah, so obviously, we'll go through that first and then bring that to the board as
They
we
probably
see.
got different crews doing the bridges there, don't they? Not the same
They do
crew.
have a bridge crew, yes,
Yeah,
it's
so it's
separate
not
from
the
each
same
other.
crew.
No,
So
no,
that-
but they
hopefully
do
it won't
have,
affect that, Brad.
they
How
do
many
have
bridges-
two
how many bridges
bridges,
does Hempfield
that
have,
they've
Brad?
been issued POs
You know?
for at this point.
Two. They got this
They're working on
with
one right now,
Brandon
Danny.
and one on Curse Road.
That's not, well, they've got, that's a different contract, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
talking
know.
about,
Yeah,
the
I know.
commodity contract is Hickory Ridge and Thomasville. And then they also were the low bidder on Kirsch and Pleasant, which is an LSPP project.
Is that close?
It hadn't started yet. I mean,
No, it hadn't.
we're working the contracts out on it, so.
All right.
Tim, when you calculated your days, I know like the red book or blue book, whatever, that in say like January and February, like it could only be like 5 working days.
Correct.
Did you use those numbers?
Yeah, that's where, when we say, pull out simple if you're looking at it.
What's the penalty? I mean, how much is it? Do we have a penalty?
Hey, you remember how long we were behind on the one they did on family, family insert? No, I'm talking about 2 years. So this, we'll come back on this.
So Jay, the columns there, jump to the middle column that says normal days available to work.
Yep.
That's based on the Red Book.
Gotcha.
All right, days available to work, which is the second column behind the month, that's actually what was available in the real world based on rain and so forth.
Okay.
So then you end up with a net, and you can see that totals up to a net negative 37, which means in their 240-day calendar, they should have had 116 working days, and there were only 79 available.
Hey, and then remember the same thing what our legislative delegation told us the other day. They're 6 months behind on the project at the reservoir,
Yeah,
and just ask for an extra 100 days on that deal.
right.
So y'all keep going down this road.
So,
I mean, it's just time.
when are
What's time
they
to evolve? You know what they
provide
said?
their
son?
information on this?
Try to get that-
They're getting it together
that
now.
one,
When we met with them, and I would expect it sometime next week. I did tell him, don't rush to get, because for this, my presentation, I wanted you to hear our
Right.
information, before we get into their, because I'm anticipating, we're gonna get a stack of paperwork like this, from them to sort through.
All right.
All right, well, I know you'll evaluate it and report back to us.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
And, we'll handle it from there. I think because of actions that we have seen in the past and heard about, we do need to watch them close and monitor the work and the time.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. I have one question, short. No action asking at this time. I'm not confident that I know the answer, but we have a county road, Purvis Road, has a few residents on it. Some people that live on that road asked me if we could get crossbars over the railroad track. That road crosses a railroad track east of Pelahatchie. And I'm pretty confident that that goes through the railroad.
Yes, sir.
Would you just make a note of that and send something to them? I don't know that there's gonna be the traffic. I don't know the answer, how many it takes. Anyhow, I was told by that person that 2 people had been killed in train car accidents, and I don't know if that's over the last 40 years or if that's over the last year. I don't know.
So a couple of resources we'll try to tap there. One is obviously the railroad, but then the MDOT Rails Division also gets a lot of money that they work, obviously in conjunction with the railroad. And I believe that's the one that Star that they did. I believe MDOT Rails was the funding source behind that for the railroad. So we'll reach out to both of those and prepare a little site map of where it is and at least get them to tell us yes or no.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Greg Slade, public hearings.
We're gonna set some public hearings, gentlemen, first.
Let's,
And we can take, Mr. President, if you will, we can take items A, B, C, and D under my section.
I'll make a motion to set A, B, and C, and D for May the 30th.
did you, D is included?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
All right.
Second.
I don't know who made the motion.
I made the
Okay.
motion.
Mr. Calhoun makes the motion. Jay seconds. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Items E, F, G, and H are also public hearings to be set, Mr. President, for June 5 at 9. With the board's pleasure, we can take E, F, G, and H as one motion to set.
I'll make a motion to set E,
Second.
F, G, H.
All right, Brad Calhoun makes the motion. Jared Morrison seconds it. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion passes. All right,
Mr.
these
President.
were to, the
Just to set.
approval to set them,
Yes,
not
sir.
just to take them in that order.
Yes, actually, Mr. President, there is no action to be taken until we get to the public hearings.
Okay,
This is
we're just
just a
setting them.
set, right.
Okay.
So for anyone who is here intending to either speak or address the board concerning any matters
contained in A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H, they will have their opportunity to address the board or to have any questions answered or asked on the dates for the public hearings that are reflected in these agenda items.
Thank you.
Okay? With the board's pleasure, we'll move on to item I. The first is to acknowledge receipt of a report from the Chancery Clerk's Office of a resolution of the assessment and objection to assessment for Atmos Energy. And with the board's pleasure, I would like to amend this item to add one additional taxpayer, Chickasaw Natural Gas District.
Can you spell that?
Yes, sir, I can. Chickasaw Hay, Hay.
Okay. I can do
Okay.
that.
That's actually
I thought you were really
It's
pressing it hard.
actually in Mississippi.
You got away with an easy one.
Yeah.
My sweet mother owns 22 acres in Shabuta, Mississippi. That is bordered by the Chickasaw River.
Chickasaw. All right.
Some of the finest deer hunting in
That's
the
where I
country.
grew up deer hunting down
Yep.
there.
Let's make, I'll make a motion that we add Chickasaw to the debtor, whatever, of
Yes, sir.
one of I.
Yes, sir.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I made a motion, Jay seconds. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes to add it. Now, we're gonna,
But what I'm asking you guys to do, let me explain what this is. It doesn't say it in the agenda item, so I'm gonna give you a little additional information. This has to do with our Gulf South pipeline cavern in Flowwood matter. And so what has happened with the board's authority is that an assessment has been made using the only available data that has been provided to us to each of the identified customers of Gulf South. What you have in front of you is action on the first two customers who have responded to the assessment and have provided some level of information. The first one, Atmos Energy, has come to the table and has provided information that we agree with that reflects the volumes that were stored there by Atmos, on behalf of Atmos in the cavern. Chickasaw Natural Gas District provided information that shows that that is a political subdivision of the state of Mississippi and that the gas that is held in the cavern for Chickasaw Natural Gas District is for a municipal purpose, and therefore they are exempt from local property tax. That's a Mississippi political subdivision. It's just like a city. They are exempt from property tax under state law. We didn't go into this assuming that a municipality in the state of Mississippi or a natural gas district in the state of Mississippi would automatically be exempt. So we went ahead and sent the assessments, and we've required those to submit back to us proof that they are operating within their political charter. And that's how they qualify for treatment as tax exempt. So what you're actually going to do today is you're going to receive the assessment that relates to Atmos, which will actually have a tax bill associated with it, and you're receiving the information from Chickasaw Natural Gas District that will reflect that they don't get a tax bill, okay? So those are the two things that you're being asked to do. You're receiving the report of the resolution of those assessments, and you're authorizing the board president to execute that resolution, and then we'll get a tax bill out to Atmos Energy for escape tax for 2017 and following.
Two.
Yes, sir.
okay.
So,
All right.
Mr. President, I'd like for that action, then I have one other statement that I want to make about that.
All right, so I have a motion to approve.
So move.
All right, Jared makes a motion. I second it. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Thank you.
Within the next 30 to 60 days, just with respect to this one particular taxpayer, Atmos, I am hopeful that I will be back in front of you giving you a report of taxes collected from Atmos that may help to enlighten the board even further on why we have gone through all of this rigmarole. I'm hopeful that the board will be pleased with that report when I'm in a position to give it. But my intention, gentlemen, is to deliver you a report that reflects a justification for the headache and the expense that we've gone through to get to this point, and we are seeing, if I can just add this anecdotally, we are seeing a fairly good response from the customers that have been identified, wanting to find out more information. They're just as mystified as we have been as to why this hasn't been dealt with before now. They're just as uptight and upset about it. And so I've had the occasion, on a number of occasions, to educate them that it would be really good if they could help us convince Gulf South to actually report meaningful data to us like they're required to do under the law. And if they'll do that, we won't have to go through this drill anymore. That's my hope. And so I hope to have good news for you guys. Mr. President, with that, I'd like to move to item J, which is the authorization of the board president to execute an MOA. That's a memorandum of agreement between Rankin County and the Mississippi Transportation Commission for the I-20 connector loop at the 18 Meridian Speedway grade separation. So those memoranda of agreement are required for the federal funding that has been appropriated to Rankin County. What you're doing is you are triggering the actual ability of the county to use, and MDOT to use those funds to move the project forward. Okay, so this is what this is. As the LPA on the project, the county needs to enter into an agreement with MDOT to get the federal funding that's in place going. I will mention, at some point, you'll be asked to provide the 20% matching requirement, and we will have the funding to do that.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Brad, a second by Jared. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
The next item, item K,
Any
is,
opposed?
Nay,
sorry, Jay,
Yeah.
I apologize.
he was just blowing me right off.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Item K is going to be
Trying to save you.
essentially identical. Keep in mind, we have multiple segments on that project, and so we've got two agreements, one for the east loop, one for the grade separation. And so you're authorizing for both of those MOA, which have the same requirement. They're both 20% local match. You're authorizing the board president to execute the MOA that relates to the grade separation and the east loop piece.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
Daniel seconds. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Item L, moving quickly. Item L is the acknowledgement of receipt. By the way, this has to do
Thank you.
with why Judge Morrow and Judge Mack appeared before you today.
Right.
Acknowledgement of receipt of correspondence from the Administrative Office of Courts regarding the Mississippi Supreme Court's appointment of Senior Status Judge Kent McDaniel as interim Rankin County Youth Court Judge during the period of convalescence of Judge Tom Broom. This would be an authorization to compensate Judge Kent McDaniel in accordance with the Senior Status Pay Scale for appointed judges as authorized and followed by the Administrative Office of Courts. Since his position is a county court position and is paid exclusively by the county, this is setting us up a pay scale that AOC follows for senior status judges, and Judge Mack is willing to be paid under those contexts. And so this would be an authorization to us to pay him by virtue of his appointment by the Supreme Court, in the neighborhood of $70 to $75 per hour. And you heard his report. Over a 2-week period, he's probably put in 40 hours.
And this will take care of that.
This allows the county to actually pay Judge Mack for his time. He'll submit his record of time into administrative office, and we will pay him in accordance with the pay scale, whatever that is.
Right.
Okay, so that's what you're authorizing.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Brad makes a motion, Jared seconds it. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Yep. I have a pretty important, and Trey Jones is here from Brunini. I have a pretty important executive session to run through with you guys. It won't take terribly long, I don't think. So I'm asking you to be prepared for executive session.
M is under.
We already did it.
We already did that?
done that.
Okay.
That was the report.
Wagner.
Ryan
Okay.
walked y'all.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's right, we brought it forward. Mr. Hicks,
Good morning. Item A is authority to issue a check in the amount of $12,361.58 to PERS, and this is for Constable Robert Hancock's employer contributions for his 22 fiscal year, or calendar year.
Motion approved.
Second.
all right, I have a motion to approve by Jay, a second by Daniel. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Item B is similar. It's the authority to issue a check for $19,053.93 to PERS on behalf of Glenn Dixon's 22 employer contributions to PERS.
Motion approved.
Motion by Jay to approve,
Second.
second by Jared. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Let's move on.
Final constable is authority to issue check for $4,758.09 to PERS on behalf of Barry Bean's employer contributions for 22.
Make a motion, approve.
All right, I have a motion by Brad, second by Jay. Any other discussion?
I just have a question. Why is his so much lower? Have we done some already for him?
No, it's based on total compensation and the difference in their financial reports of how much expense they had, such forth.
We just hadn't done the other constable yet?
I think we've already done Gary.
Okay, all right.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
All right, item D, this is a follow-up of discussion we had back in January, and we just need official board approval to transfer funds in the amount of $1.6 million from the general fund to the road improvements project that we're working on.
What's this for?
This is the $1.6 million that Jay said moved from general county over to the road projects that we've been working on to pay for those.
Pay for,
Motion approved.
All the roads that we've been paying.
Budget.
it's just adding to. Okay.
Yes, it's the official.
I got you.
I've got a motion by Jay,
Second.
second by Daniel. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? None. Passes.
Item E is approval of the letter of engagement for fiscal year 22 audit with the Office of State Audit and authority to sign the letter. And it's estimated to cost the county $80,000 for this audit.
Do they have their own office now here,
They have two.
too?
Oh, is this still the state's cost?
Yes, sir.
Wow, holy cow. Oh,
How many years they
It
been
was
here?
60 last year, it was 80 this year.
Oh,
It's
well,
gone,
yeah.
I think it went 30 to 68.
It's been around,
last year.
yeah, it's been around 75.
75, I think.
Well,
Okay, if there's any question, this is where the state requires us to be audited.
Or they audit us?
Or they,
They
or
are.
we,
They can,
we
yeah.
pay them to come here and use our space and audit us.
Do you remember what our last, what we paid our last private company to audit?
It was around the mid-30s.
30,000.
30 or 35.
And that was about 6 years ago. so.
30,000.
But the state's been auditing us the last, what,
Five. This is
5
year
years?
five.
Year
Four,
five,
no.
5 years in a row.
And we're not paying double, we're paying triple the amount of us.
Well, I will say those other audits have increased, and with all the federal
Okay.
money.
They
that
probably
we've
got
received-
40,000
At
left.
least double.
but I don't know what they are, that's, would be a good question.
We're clean though.
Oh,
We
yeah.
were clean before.
Right, we've been clean the whole time.
They help us stay clean by paying them to come audit us. All right, do I have a motion? I make a motion that we pay them and give them a cup of coffee.
Second.
All right, Daniel.
No coffee.
Seconds it.
Man, you ain't choice.
Any other discussion?
Charge them for the coffee.
Charge them for the coffee. All right, I'll take that as a discussion item. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. I didn't hear everybody vote, but I assume that they did.
All right, item F is authority to publish a notice of public hearing for our solid waste management plan amendment. We need to publish that on the 24th and 31st of May and have our public hearing on June 5th.
Have a motion.
Second.
All right, I make the motion. Daniel seconds it. Any other discussion?
What amendment are you gonna be changing? I mean,
This is the, remember we talked about where they disperse the solid waste and all that, into the adding areas that they can
Oh,
distribute
that,
this, yes.
okay, all right.
All right,
And,
all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right,
can we go back to item 2F from the consent agenda?
yes,
All
I've
right.
got that marked.
Item F is the authority to pay data processing, it's actually data processing training fees, at a cost of $140 an hour for 3 hours for the tax assessor's office. And I'd kind of like to stop right there.
What is that?
This is training, dealing with data transfers from their system. From Data Systems Management is the name of the company. And they're just gonna do a 3-hour on-site training class. And we're working on a separate agreement where they maintain our systems. They're very well versed in our systems. And if any additional training is allowed or needed, I'd kind of like to come back and look at what else is needed and address it from there.
All right, so we're gonna use that one sentence for today?
Yes,
Is
sir.
that-
Well, John's here. Is there anything you want to add to this?
What we're doing, we have one person in the office, run queries of AS400, you're aware of those. Well, it's just good not to have one person that knows what to do.
I got you.
Queries, so we're gonna train other people in the office to run queries.
Gotcha. All
So
right.
how many can they have at one time in a training session? I mean, it's,
I'm not gonna get through my entire staff.
Yeah, fix it.
yeah, I'm just
He probably
saying, I
want
mean,
everybody.
if 2 or 3 more, or,
I'd say they're gonna have 3 or 4.
okay, I got you.
And, you don't want everybody knowing how to run queries.
I got you.
All right. Do I have a motion as
So moved.
what our administrator stated? Jay makes a motion,
I'll second.
Second, Brad.
Calhoun seconds it. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, that gets
We have
us
one
to.
more thing.
Well,
Justin.
yes, we get,
Additional business.
I know, I've got some, I'm gonna add one to that, but I wanna get the one that's on here.
Oh,
Justin
yeah, that's
Allen.
right. Yeah, I looked over. Go ahead.
Morning.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, gentlemen. If I could, before we hit that contract, I'm gonna echo Mr. Slay on the Hines deal. I think bringing the Allied Health over here is gonna be a tremendous asset to the county. Graduate of the paramedic program at Hines, myself, got a really good program over there. I think we've got the support with the fire departments here. Gonna be really beneficial for us. I'm really excited about that. I think it's gonna be tremendous. Really makes me excited. Y'all have invested a lot in our cardiac monitors, our big cardiac monitors. Recently, we got one for Monterey Fire Department. This is just a service contract to protect that investment. They're in good shape. This is not just everything's trashed. Everybody realizes what they've got. They take good care of it. We're just trying to protect that investment. You've got 2 quotes in front of you, the base option and option A, and then option B is the kind of advanced level. My recommendation is
We
option
don't have
A.
those quotes, but go ahead.
Yeah.
They should be in the
They're
package.
on- they're on your thing.
They should be in that package in front of you,
They're coming.
unless I got stolen. I'm gonna lean towards option A. I think that's what we've got. Obviously, we can come back and revisit it. Not a request for additional monies as we have it budgeted for, just to put it for you. Like I said, it is a 1-year contract that we can come back and look for. I think option A will give us the
What will
best
they,
bang for our
what will
money.
they do? They're just gonna
Maintain it.
maintain.
They will
what we
maintain
have?
it. They will send one of their reps here every year to look at all of our monitors, update them with the latest software, check all of our equipment to make sure it's up to par, run all of their diagnostics, if you will, make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. If we have a problem with one of our monitors, they give us a loaner
That's
and
what
we
I
ship
thought.
ours in. So we're not down a piece of equipment.
So do they fix it under this fee, or do they just ship
They
it
will,
off for us?
some repairs are covered under this. Some repairs would be additional under this fee here under option A. Option B doesn't give us the option of them coming here and repairing it, or doing the PM every year.
Yeah.
But it would cover the ship in and do certain qualifying repairs there.
You have in your budget to
Yes, sir.
cover option A.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
All right, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Daniel makes a motion, Jared seconds it. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Now then,
Hey, before you hit that one, you wanna go first, or can I add one additional business?
go ahead.
Yeah, there's one thing I wanna mention, and Sheriff, I wanna mention this to you. Over the last month or so, I've been doing work with our jail guys, and they've been fantastic. And as far as doing, different types of training in the jail and smoke environments, learning how to deal with SCBAs, we've done medical things, we've done different areas to where we've challenged them on scenario based on injuries to jailers or inmates, or if you have some type of fire. We've had several fires in the drier areas that smoke things up. So one of the things we've done with those guys is we work with them to be sure that their procedures and all are right. Well, one of the things we started utilizing, I just threw it into the mix while we were doing things with them, was utilizing a thermal imaging camera to where they can see through darkness, they can see through smoke, things of those natures like that. So one of the things I'd like to add to the agenda, and I don't want this to come, I know the sheriff's got money and all kind of drug money that's out there, but what I'd like to do is I'd like to suggest that the board buys 2 of these thermal imaging cameras for the jail. They're about $1,400 a piece. They're fantastic FLIR devices, but it'll allow those guys to be able to see with zero light, to see through. They can walk through pods, they can walk through certain areas. So I'm gonna make a motion, one, to add that to the agenda. And I know you could offer to pay for it, stuff like that, but I think that'd be a good token of the board to provide that for our jail staff. They do an incredible job under a hard condition area that's over there. These 2 thermal imaging cameras would give them the ability to see at night in areas when they're going through, if the power's out, generators hadn't kicked back on, without using flashlights and things of that nature. Also, if they do get a fire like they've had before in the drier area that smokes up, they can see through the darkness. So it allows them to see. Very, very safe tool that's used. Fire service uses them a lot. Also, it'll be able to see through walls and things like that. If there's a fire maybe in a wall or pipes that are overheating or something of that nature. So I'd like to make a motion to add this to the agenda to purchase 2 thermal imaging cameras for our jailers out of our general budget. So I'll make that motion to add.
All right, Daniel's made a motion to add 2 thermal imaging for the sheriff's office to the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Jay seconds it. Any further discussion? All in favor? It's added. Now,
Make a motion to purchase these 2 items. And again, they're state contract. The total price is $2,790, just under $2,800 for 2 of these cameras to be utilized in the jail for your staff.
if there's a need outside of the jail, would he have the authority?
Yeah, the sheriff can come
Okay,
get them and
it's
move them
not
where he needs to.
limited
Yeah, so
to
for
the
example,
jail.
we have somebody in the woods. They're
Yeah,
gonna range
right,
out for
yeah.
25, 30 yards out there from
Or
the
in a
same points
house.
as you could see. They're
Yeah.
there for you to have, but the jail can be fantastic to use right there. But those guys in that jail doing fantastic. Dimitri and Barry and that bunch, they got them clicking. They're doing fantastic. So I'll make a motion to approve to purchase these 2 thermal imaging cameras.
All right, thank you very much. Daniel makes a motion, Jay seconds it. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, under additional business,
Well,
anything?
Mr. President, before you go further, I noticed there's a couple people in the audience here that,
What's that?
I don't know if y'all wanted to sign up for public comment. Does anyone here want to address the board for any matter? Okay, I just want to give y'all a chance. Go ahead, Mr. President.
All right, we've got executive session. Are you ready to go into executive session? Do we have a need?
Yes, sir, litigation.
We have a need to go into executive session for litigation. I make a,
Most discuss the need to go into executive session.
Second.
all right, I've got a motion by Jay, a second by Daniel. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion
Make a motion
passes.
to go into executive session for litigation.
We did, we just,
You guys discuss the need, then you
oh,
vote
I thought, okay.
Just wanna sit
Jay
there.
makes another
You don't
motion
wanna
for, go into executive session for litigation. Daniel seconds it. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.